It's me, Zenobia Darling. You're listening to hashtag Rockstar Life, the Coffee Break podcast. Let's go. Where the hell's my cold brew at?
Ooh, what's up, guys? It is me, Zenobia Darling. I am coming to you today. It is a cool and dreary day here in Maryland. It is Tuesday, May 27th, 2025. It is my birthday week, so I'm off work this week. I took off. You know, it's my birthday. I'm 34, and you know, party. I started with a party this weekend, and I have some stuff planned this week and this weekend. And, you know, I'm celebrating me. My birthday is a big deal for me, and I love it. And I don't know. I will say the weather here in Maryland, I don't know what the hell's happening. It's been downright cold. Like last week, I had my fucking heat on at night because it was like, 48 degrees. Last week, didn't see the sun. I wanted 88 degrees and not a cloud in the sky. Like, that's my favorite weather. I like it hot. I like it sunny. It's just, I don't know. Because, like, so to give you guys a little bit of like an update on my life. So the podcast, we're still on hiatus. There's been a lot of just shifting in the universe right now. There's a weird heaviness that not just me I'm feeling, but I feel like a lot of people are going through. About a few weeks ago, I normally do my tarot deck, so my Disney villain deck, and I pulled the Tower card, and that was the day that I had a lot of stuff happen with sponsorships. I know art grants, just a lot of stuff is just really crazy right now. So I'm still in the midst of trying to find sponsors for the podcast. You know, I love doing it. I love podcasting. It's really the only way and the only form Zenobia is taking right now. This is Derek talking. You know, I love being Zenobia. I love her. She still is alive, even though I don't do like the lip sync number, like I'm not like a club kid anymore. I do podcasting, and I love doing her, but at the same time, like, I also like getting paid to do her, and it's a source of income for me because, again, remember, I have a theater degree. I'm a Kennedy Center award-winning drag performer, and it's like I like to get paid for my creative endeavors, and that's something that I have the luxury and the privilege of doing. And so I'm trying to find sponsorships, but it's like people just don't have money right now. It's really crazy. I don't know what the hell's happening, but I mean, nobody has money. Everybody's broke. It's kind of sad in a way, but at the same time, I'm still kicking. I'm still moving, still kicking ass at the hair salon. I love it more and more every day. Like, I wish I did it 10 years ago. It's been really fun. And to give you guys a little painting update, so I moved into my new place back in February, and I have an attic space. It's on the 3rd floor. It's like a little attic, and it looks spooky and haunted, and I love it. And I have all my paintings up there, my entire art portfolio, but there is a space up there. Like, I have my sewing machine up there, but I really haven't painted up there. Like, I really haven't painted it since about, I would say, February. And the itch is there. I'm somebody, like, I'm a creative person. I have a supercharged creativity when it comes to art. So it comes out performing, and I love just getting paints and glitter and a big canvas and just painting stuff. And I love painting the paranormal stuff. So yesterday, it was Memorial Day. I went outside and I started painting, but then I went to put the painting upstairs in my attic, and it was the first time I painted in a while too. So that felt really good. And I started painting up there, and I realized like that was the first time I painted in my new art studio. I'm calling it the Haunted Attic Art Studio. I fucking love it. I'm recording actually in my living room, but I might move the podcasting room up there. My second bedroom, I'm starting to turn into a podcasting room. That's the eventual goal. I do want some video side to the podcast so I can put it on YouTube so you guys can actually see me. But like, I'm also very much like a radio person. I like being just on mic because, it's easy. My voice is pretty recognizable and I love it. But, it felt good. It felt good because I was like, I'm really taking command of the space. I mean, I don't know if it's haunted. I definitely think there is a man up there, but he kind of keeps to himself. I do know that there is that boundary that the spirit world has told me not to go up there at night. That's this dude's space. And occasionally I have seen a shadow figure walk in that because there's like, you walk, I have like the first floor, like foyer entry, and then you go upstairs and then it's like, you go up, there's my bathroom, and then it's a little hallway that goes to the attic. And then you come into a door, like a threshold that used to be a door. And there's the living room, kitchen, and the rest of the space. And you can see it from my couch, and I have seen, a shadow figure kind of move in that space. But I just, you got to make friends with ghosts. If you have ghosts in your house, you got to just, make friends with them, set boundaries. When I did go up there and paint, I said, hey, I'm going to be painting up here. But, there's not a lot of light up there, so it's not really good to paint. I do like to paint late at night, but, and I might do that. I might get some more lighting up there, like just, some... just some, I don't know, like just, I can even use a ring light, but it does need more light. But the sun's really good up there, like in the late evening. So it was just nice to like sit, because painting to me is an act of meditation. It feels good. And just there's just this heaviness. I don't know what the fuck it is. I've been feeling it. I've been moving through a lot of just stuff right now. Like, I don't really want to get too deep into it, but just a lot of stuff. And it's just, and I've been noticing, I've always known this about me, and it's probably why I relate to my drag mom, Candy Darling. You guys can watch Andy Warhol films. Candy Darling was a drag superstar, a transgendered woman in New York City in the 60s and 70s. And she was an Andy Warhol film, like Woman in Revolt is probably her most famous one. I've always identified with her. And Zenobia Darling comes from Candy Darling. Candy Darling, I always say, is my drag mom by way of John Waters. And Candy Darling always says, I'm famous because I'm a mirror to people and I highlight their good and their shadow side. And I have always identified with that. And I've definitely been noticing that has been coming up really hardcore with a lot of people in my life right now. And it's something that I've always been aware of, but I've never been this aware of it. So it's just something I'm moving through. And it's something how how I show up to people, how I go about things. Because again, I'm a work in progress. We all are work in progresses. We always have room to work and grow and evolve. And if you don't do that, quite frankly, you get stagnant and then you crystallize. And there's a lot of people in my life that do that. They don't work on themselves. They don't address things. They don't evolve and grow. And it's a very sad thing, but and I just kind of look at them and I said, I'm not going to do that. So, it's been a lot of let's just breathe. Let's meditate. I've been trying to hit the gym, been just working at the salon, just having fun, just moving along with my hashtag Rockstar life. But guys, I wanted to come on here because I'll be releasing episodes in the next few weeks. I got some good guests lined. Trust me. I got some good people lined up. So you're going to be in for a treat. But in the meantime, it's my birthday week. I really wanted to just come on mic, just say hello to you guys. I'm still here. I'm still kicking. I'm still doing things. But, we're still on hiatus. And something fucking wild happened. And I love the paranormal and I love pop culture. I mean, I'm a pop culture savant. I'm also I love paranormal anything, I mean, I am a paranormal investigator, and I love it when pop culture and the paranormal worlds intersect. And that happened about 2 weeks ago. And I have been taking in more and more information about this scandal. And it started lighting up my brain, and I just got to talk about it. So guys, for this little hiatus episode, this little espresso shot, just saying hello, we got to talk about it. We got to get into this whole Holly Madison, Zak Bagans cheating scandal, because this shit is so wild, and it's such an intersection of paranormal and pop culture that's so on brand for me. I fucking love it. It just, I don't even know. I went on a walk yesterday and I was listening to, because I'm a member of Holly and Bridget's Patreon for the Girls Next Level podcast, because I love Holly Madison. Holly Madison, I mean, Like, she is like one of my number one celebrities. I love her. I stan her. I think she's so amazing. Her and Bridget both. I love Bridget too. They really, like, to get into some backstory about Holly and Bridget on the Girls Next Door show on E. You know, I've always been a reality TV person. I've loved all reality television. I've watched Bravo, E, We, all of them. And Girls Next Door was such an amazing show. I loved it. I loved it so much. And Holly and Bridget, especially Bridget is a lot like Zenobia in a lot of ways. I mean, watching that show, watching Holly and Bridget on Girls Next Door definitely shaped how I come about in the world. Like I call them my drag aunties because so much of me came out of that. I mean, you know, there's a lot of influences on Zenobia, and Holly and Bridget are up there. Like, they were not afraid to talk about the paranormal. They were spooky. They were witchy. They're also very draggy. I mean, nothing is more drag than walking through the garment district of downtown LA in the little black bags that, like, you know, you get porn in, that's full of $5 rhinestones and jewelry that they're going to go home and make and hot glue onto their outfits and for parties. And it's stuff like that. I always watched it and I always loved it because they one time had a paranormal investigator on there. Bridget was always she's so into the paranormal. And like, I love burlesque. I love burlesque dancers. I love burlesque photography. And Holly and Bridget are some of the most gorgeous burlesque models ever. I mean, their photography work that's been in Playboy and is some of like my absolute, I mean, we all know I've talked extensively about Blaze Starr, the Baltimore burlesque queen. I love Dita Von Teese. I just love burlesque dancers. The human body is beautiful. The human body is art, you know, male and female. Like, I'm definitely, you know, I prefer men dating wise, but I can appreciate the human body as a very beautiful art form. And Holly and Bridget, when they do their burlesque photos, it's top notch. It's top notch. I know Bridget, like when she did the witch burlesque photograph, I believe it was in a Playboy calendar or Girls Next Door calendar. It might have been in the magazine. I'm not sure. That is like one of my top favorite photos of all time of burlesque. Like it's so amazing because it's so on brand. Bridget, her body was smoking and she's spooky and witchy and just serving. Like, I love that shit. And they also brought in a camp quality. So before we get into all of this, I'm a Holly and Bridget stan for life. And, you know, just know that going through there, I have Holly's back 100% in all of this. I love Holly. And I mean, we all know this. You guys have been listening to the podcast for 2+ years. And you know, I love to take the piss out of Ghost Adventures. I mean, and Zak Bagans. There's a lot that, you know, he is a public figure and I'm a stand-up comic and I'm a drag queen. And I love throwing shade at him. I love throwing shade at his paranormal style because, again, I also am a very intellectualized paranormal investigator. I'm very ethical with it. I have a different style. And I kind of watch Ghost Adventures about what not to do in ghost hunting, with dealing with the paranormal, with also dealing with paranormal and how it shows up in reality television. And it's something where I'm like, you know, so when this scandal happened, I sat there and I was like, ooh, wait a minute. Because I forget where I was. Oh, I follow Bridget on Instagram I follow Holly on Instagram. And I noticed that she posted something, said it was some like viral trend that she was doing. She talked about it a little bit on a Patreon episode of it. And I don't want to get too much into the Patreon because there's a firewall. I want to respect them. But I do know from what they said, because I've listened to both episodes they've released. And I got to be honest with you, Holly's fucking going through it. I think she also is feeling the heaviness. And you know, the most recent Patreon up, you could tell she's really, this is really threw her for a loop. And I sent her nothing but love, respect, and healing. And, you know, she's going to get through this because she's Holly. She's going to get through this because she's a strong, badass motherfucking bitch. And I love her eternally. So it's just, you know, it's just so fucked up. And it just shows exactly what I've been saying about Zak Bagans, where he's a fucking douchebag lunatic who, like, it's just like, I don't even know. He like has like toxic bro masculinity. It's disgusting to me. It's so fucking disgusting. And it's also so disgusting. You have Holly Madison, one of the most hottest women on the planet. She is amazingly blonde. She is a pinup model. She's a burlesque dancer. She was a fucking Playboy model. Like, she's one of the most gorgeous girls on the planet, and you fucking are such a pig that you cheat on her of all people. What the fuck are you doing with your life? Like, for real. And she is airing him out for every fucking thing he's worth. I mean, it is, I have nothing but respect for Holly, and she's doing a very good job about it, because even on the Patreon, she is being very much, you know, like, still respecting things about it, not giving too much, you know, just being very careful with what she says. But she is fucking going in, airing him out to dry. It is so, and she's going on other podcasts and she's talking about it, and she's throwing amazing shade. I mean, expert level intellectual shade. It's so amazing to watch, and it just shows how remarkable of a woman Holly Madison is. I mean, truly, it just, you know, I think everybody has been affected by cheating, and, you know, I've been cheated on in relationships. I've also cheated on people in relationships. And when that stuff happens, it hurts. It fucking hurts. And it's something where you have to really look at yourself and look at your actions and how you've hurt people, and how, you know, and how you express that hurt and how you grow and evolve from that. And this is part of what I was talking about before, where like, you have to take those moments and you have to learn and grow from them and not crystallize in them, or because you're just going to crystallize and become a douchebag the rest of your life, which seems like what's happening to Zach. But let's get into it. Let's really get into all of this mess. So actually, before we do, I'm going to put the ad break in here. So I'll be right back. All right, ad break. I got to pay for all this damn coffee I'm drinking and tea I'm spilling. What's up, art lovers? It's me, Zenobia Darling. Did you know I'm more than just a drag rock star? I'm also a very accomplished painter, photographer, and you can check it all out on ZenobiaDarlingCreative.com. Explore my neo-expressionistic fine art, my editorialized goth photography, and this is the best part. You can buy my original paintings, and you can spruce up your boring-ass walls, because every wall needs some glittering Zenobia Darling on them. So go check out Zenobia Darling Creative. The link is in the episode description. Ooh, what's up, Glamazons? It's Zenobia Darling. And you know my Rockstar disc doesn't just happen, right? It's crafted to perfection at Odyssey Salon and Day Spa in Aberdeen. Let me spill my secret. Abby, my badass stylist, is the mastermind behind my iconic glittering blonde mohawk. Whether you want to spike it up, smooth it out, dye it a killer shade, or just add that extra edge to your hair, the crew at Odyssey have the magic to make you feel like the superstar you truly are. And it's not just about hair. They keep my nails sharp, my skin polished, and every visit is an absolute blast. And here's the best part, my darlings. Odyssey isn't just about looking fierce. It is a safe space where us LGBT folks can feel right at home, shining as our truest selves. So if you're ready to live your own #Rockstar life and embrace your creative spirit, get yourself to Odyssey Salon and Day Spa in Aberdeen. Tell them Zenobia sent you and show the world how fabulous us rock stars look. And you never know, you might run into yours truly. The link to book your visit to unlock your fabulosity is in the episode description. Hey there, ghost-loving rebels. It's Zenobia Darling, your paranormal punk rock queen. We premiered my newest art film, Ethereal Anarchy, Zenobia Darling's Haunted Revolution, on November 1st with my opening reception of my immersive art exhibition, The Paranormal Realm Beyond the Lore. Let me tell you, Part 1 of this film captured one of the most profound paranormal experiences I've ever had, and it was met with roaring applause and accolades. And yes, we filmed it in true punk rock fashion to bring you even more content. But Huns, the revolution is just getting started, and we need you to bring Part 2 to life. We have so much more content from Part 1 that we want to include, plus we're actively filming for Part 2. So we're pushing paranormal storytelling to the edge in true aspirational punk rock fashion. Your support fuels every haunting moment of this journey. From ghost hunting gear to fair crew pay, every dollar you contribute keeps things spooky and queer just the way it should be. Join the Haunted Revolution. You can find the link to our GoFundMe in the episode description and help us raise the dead and the funds. Ooh, and I'm back. Ooh, I gotta tell you guys. So I don't know if you guys have been following me on Instagram or TikTok, but you should, Zenobia darling. I got my ears pierced 2 weeks ago. I have no piercing, surprisingly, and I gotta say, this is the first time I'm podcasting with my earphones in, with my earrings in. It's just a weird feeling. I love it to death, but they're still healing, and I'm like, ugh. But let's get into it. So it is confirmed, Holly said, that she has 10 confirmed women who had sex with Zak while they were dating. So they dated on and off for about, I would say, 5 to 6 years. I think it was 2019. Zak lives in Vegas. Holly lives in Vegas part-time, because her kids go to school in Vegas, and her baby daddy also lives there, and she's a good relationship with them, and they're good at co-parenting. And so she spends her time part in Vegas, part in Los Angeles. Because she works in Los Angeles, but she also has her family in Vegas. And she, it's like a 6-hour drive or like a 45-minute flight. I've done it many times. And, it just works for her. And she loves Vegas. When she left the mansion, she moved to Vegas because she was doing her burlesque show on the Strip, and she was shooting Holly's World on E. So, Vegas is one of her places, and so is Zak. So it made sense that I remember hearing about when they first started dating. I was like, oh, that's cute. I could see them together. Like, I could see where they have similar interests. They're also very private with their personal lives. I mean, and it's one of the things I actually respect about Holly the most is that her kids are never on social media. She keeps that stuff very private. And good for her, because I don't think a lot of people do that nowadays. And I think it does have a detrimental effect on the children, because, being in the public eye like that, it's not for the faint of heart. And little kids, when they don't need to be on that. So it's something I very respect. She doesn't really talk much about much of her private life. And Zak's the exact same way. But Zak's also kind of a messy queen, so we'll just say it. But Holly, it's been confirmed. Holly confirmed it. There are 10 confirmed women who Zak slept with while they were dating and cheated on Holly with. And when she said confirmed, I believe it was like when she first came out with it on like a Sunday, it was like 6, and it jumped up to 8, and now it's up to 10. I believe it's up to 12 now. And these are confirmed because the reason it happened, I was listening to the Patreon before I got started just to kind of refresh my mind. She was in an Uber, and I gotta say, I'm a chatty Cathy. I mean, I'm a Gemini. I love talking to Uber drivers and cab drivers. I mean, I have no problem having conversations. It's some of the best conversations I've ever had. And, so she hopped in an Uber, and the Uber driver was like, oh my God, you're Holly, blah, blah, blah. Because, she also is, she's a public figure, but she uses like a surname, and, probably, good for her. When you're that level that Holly's at, you're going to do that. And the Uber driver just was like, yeah, I drove a girl like a few years ago to that Ghost Hunters dude, and Holly was like, wait a minute. So Holly posted it on social media. What's the most unhinged story? Let's how many times did my ex cheat on me with? How many women? And girls have been coming out left and right to Holly, and she's been confirming it, but because Zak lives in a gated community. I mean, he's a millionaire, so, and I believe he lived, I want to say, I heard that it was Summerlin, which is like Western Las Vegas, but I know he recently moved. But I know he's in a gated community in Vegas, and gave them time-stamped like passes to get into his neighborhood. That's how she proved it. And, and that's something where like, Holly would know, because Holly would be over his house. And so she would get a pass and be able to go into his house and stuff like that, because they were fucking dating. Like, they had a relationship. And so she was in that Uber driver, found out. And I just got to say, like, also, just knowing Vegas is a small fucking town. Like, it's a big city, but everyone knows everybody. You really only have one industry, and that is the Strip. You got the entertainment industry, you got all that stuff, and it's all wrapped around. So everybody in Vegas knows everybody. It's not like it's like, New York does have this, but on a different scale. Vegas is a small town, so shit gets around. And there's always been rumors that Zak that's been cheating, and it's something she commented on. I mean, I've heard it many times in the paranormal group. in paranormal groups I'm affiliated with, like I've heard little rumors. I've also heard rumors, and this is something that Zak does not have a lot of respect in a lot of paranormal, especially East Coasters. Us East Coast paranormal people, nobody really likes him. No one fucks with him. He's kind of they just say he's a douchebag. Like I've heard this many times that he's not a good, nice dude. Like he's very much like. I always tell people this when they talk about Zak, because a lot of people know that like I have a very Zak Bagans quality, because this is the thing about Zak. Zak's favorite, like his idol in the whole thing is like the dude that started Barnum and Bailey Circus. So he's a theater kid. He's a drag queen. I've talked about this many times. I'm also a theater kid. I'm a drag queen. So I've always watched Ghost Adventures understanding what is being presented is a spectacle, a circus, a theater act. And that when you go into with that lens and take out the fact that, yeah, he's paranormal investigating, but add in the more entertainment theatrics, the spectacle of it, it's really kind of telling. And a lot of times when people have told me stuff in paranormal groups, like about him, that it's like, I tell them that, and then they're like, oh, it makes sense. Like, that's completely true. I mean, since I've been really following this shit, and since my whole little Zak cosplay on Halloween went viral, you can go watch that. I'll put the link below. I mean, I went, because I was so busy this fucking Halloween with the Paranormal Realm Beyond the Lore, my art exhibition, and Ethereal Anarchy, which will be out soon. I really didn't have a costume, and I got invited to a costume party, and I was like, what the fuck am I gonna do? Look around my closet. Let's be Zak fucking Bagans. So I shaved a goatee on my face and went as Zak Bagans. And also because I'm an actor and I'm an improv actor and I'm really good at characterizations, I can be him really easily. Let me see if I can do it. My name is Zak Bagans. I'm lead investigator of the Ghost Adventures crew. I've been on a quest to capture what I once saw, as I saw a shitty ghost in my Detroit apartment, and I am gonna find out what is happening to these people. Like, he's very theatrical. Like, I just butchered that. That was right off the cuff, but he's very he has a very specific way of talking. He has a very he's just a fucking drag queen. Like, watch it as a man in, I don't know, ghost hunter, goth, Jersey Shore drag, and there you have Zak Bagans, 100%. And it's just, I don't know, he doesn't have a lot of respect in the paranormal world anymore. He really doesn't. Yes, he has a hit-rated show, which I gotta be honest, I really gotta be, I was gonna put this in my final thoughts, but let's just talk about it, because we got that whole thing with Aaron Goodwin and his ex-wife, hiring somebody to murder Aaron, and it happened while they were filming. So there's been a lot of scandals with the Ghost Adventures crew this year alone. You can go back, and I did a whole deep dive Espresso Shot on that a few months ago. But, there's been a lot, and then this is the next one. So with Ghost Adventures, it's a top-rated show, and yeah, he's kind of the EP for a lot of shows, and there was that whole drama a few years ago with Dakota Layden and Nick Groff coming out on Twitter, calling him out, and it's one of those things where it's I kind of believe what they were saying, and the writing's on the wall, and quite frankly, I think with it all depends on how because I think now they've been shooting stuff for the fall lineup of shows. They always have a spring lineup and a summer lineup. And honestly, I've been wanting to cover it on the podcast, but honestly, I don't really want to watch it. I'm not in a headspace where I really want to see a bunch of douchebags ghost hunting. And, especially with all this shit happening, because you got to remember, Zak is very calculated and he's very aware of what he puts on the show and what he doesn't. So I think part of what is going to cement if Ghost Adventures actually lives on after these scandals is if they lean into it or they don't. Because if they don't lean into the Aaron Goodwin thing, I don't think they're going to have a show, because people are going to be watching it to find out what happened, especially that we all know that they were filming when he got the call that was happening. So, and also with the whole Holly Madison thing, I bet you Zak will not talk about it. My personal belief is that I really hope he gets like a media interview to plug his fucking haunted museum in Vegas like he always do. Because also, this is the other thing, because I got a lot of comments saying like, you really nailed this Zach impression. He knows what he's doing. He's in bed with TMZ to plug stuff. You always hear stuff where like, you know, I got Saddam Hussein's clothes and they're in the museum now. A TMZ article. So he has that relationship with media like all celebrities do. And I kind of plug that in that skit I did on Halloween on my TikTok. And it's one of those things where like, so he has that relationship with media, but I want him to go on like, have like E! News there. And I want them just to call him out. Like, you know, I've been doing a lot of Martha Stewart deep dives, you know, because I love Martha Stewart. And I just watched it where she was on the early show in like 2001 during the height of the whole scandal about the insider trading thing, which is complete bullshit. I mean, the fact that all of our political elites do it all the time and they fucking sent Martha to jail for 5 months for it's crazy to me. It's absolutely fucking crazy. But she was on the early show and it's a famous thing where she's like, I just want to focus on my salad. And it's like, you know, I want him to have that moment because I want someone to call him out live about this cheating scandal because it's fucking crazy. It's crazy. I mean, Holly is talking about it and everyone knows about it. Like everyone knows they dated. And like I saw an E! News thing about it. So it was on E! News. Like they talked about it. Holly's alleging that Zach cheated on him. And I just got to say that right off the bat, this is so fucking hilarious to me. Ghost Adventures and Zak Bagans are fucking D-list celebrities 100%. I mean, not even D-list. They're like F-list. I mean, because it's like no one can get the show right. They're constantly calling him the Ghost Hunters dude. Zach has never been affiliated with Ghost Hunters. Never. Ghost Hunters was an OG paranormal show. It was on Sci-Fi. It dealt with TAPS, the Mid-Atlantic. No, what is it? The Atlantic Paranormal Society. You know, it was a bunch of Roto-Rooter guys who now come on. I know like Jason Halls occasionally will comment on it, but like it's so funny to me because it's like, you know, they keep getting it right and they keep showing him looking like a fucking douche. All of his photos are just like him making weird faces, him looking so unflattering, like just a straight douchebag, straight guy. It's just, they're just airing him out to dry. And they can never, because he's on fucking Ghost Adventures. Ghost Adventures, and everyone just says the Ghost Hunters, dude. And shit like that cracks me up. I get a sick little like cackle out of it because I'm like, you're such a fucking D-list celebrity, dude. You're just so fucking D-list, and it's so comical to me. It really is, just because I'm like, God, it's so beautiful. But, you know, so they've been dating on and off for about 6 years. And I mean, I knew that they broke up a few times. Like they broke up last year and they got back together. But then I remember Holly a few months ago said like, you know, she broke up with him for good and you know, she's moving on with her life and she's ready for something new to come in. She also wants to focus on her. She's getting busy. I mean, she has the Playboy murder. She has Lethally Blonde. So she has the true crime stories on what is it? The Investigation Discovery Channel, or, you know, it's on HBO. So, you know, I watch it. I like it. They're cute shows. So she's getting busy, and she's getting busy with the podcast, with the Girls Next Level podcast, which again, I'm a Patreon member. I listen to it. It's one of my favorite podcasts of all time. I mean, it truly is. I mean, I fucking love them. And just like as a pop culture intellectual, Holly and Bridget come at it from that level too. So I really resonate with it. It's really a good one. I mean, you don't have to be a member of the Patreon. I mean, you should support them. But at the same time, I'm like, if you listen to the free one, it's a good deep dive. I mean, they did one on the Kardashians a little bit ago, and I was like, whew, this is scratching that intellectual itch in my brain. But, you know, so Holly has said that he gave like zero, what is this? Okay, so they have given, sorry, I got a text message. So they've dated for on again, off again for like 6 years, and he has given zero effort into the relationship, she has said. Like, you know, it's like, and of course, he's such a straight dude where he's like, God damn, that's not my flow. Oh, sorry, guys, got a text message. So Holly has said that they've been dating on again, off again for 6 years, and Holly put on there saying that he's given zero effort into the relationship. So it's one of those things where I'm like, of course, Zach's going to be, I'm Zak Bagans, you're dating me. Like, let's be real. The bigger star with it is Holly, 100%. Like, so he kind of like wasn't making an effort. And also Holly's very private with her kids. And Holly has said this many times that until she's engaged, they're not meeting her kids. It's as simple as that, because she's not doing that to her kids. And I remember like there were rumors that Zach said that to some chick or something. So it's just crazy. And they're both very private. So they've always been very respectful. But I remember always being like, they're a cute couple. I get it. But then at the same time, I always was like, Zach is Zach. Like, something is off. So the allegations, and before I get into all of these allegations, guys, I just want to say the little disclaimer. I am a drunk drag queen in a bar. Okay. I'm a stand-up comic. I am talking about this with a grain of comedy. So take it with that grain of salt, that it's comedic, that it is, it's allegations. I can't prove this. This is all internet hearsay and shit I've been reading on the internet. So, it's not true. It is true. I don't know. I don't care. These are all alleged, so don't come for me. So these are the allegations. So he's basically a man whore. He basically is a straight up fucking man whore. I don't know if he's a sex addict, but he definitely is leaning that way. I mean, and I also think he's the type of person that might get off on possibly getting caught in like the thrill of the, am I going to get caught? Am I not going to get caught? Let's be, because the way it was going about, like from what Holly has said and what I've been reading on like the internet and some of the YouTube deep dives that people have been doing, because like this is a big scandal. I mean, there's a lot of TikTokers that are talking about it. There's a lot of stuff that, I have been reading about, and it's kind of fucking crazy. Like some of the allegations, like it's getting dark. Like it's getting so dark out of left field. Like at first it was getting a little dark, but it was more absurdist. And then some of the stuff is just absolutely insane dark. And it's one of those things where it's like, and the sad thing the whole time I'm like, I could see this. I could see it happening. I also couldn't see it happening. I don't want to think that. I don't think he's like that. But at the same time, like, from what he did to Holly, So he, allegedly what he likes to do is, he likes to be very mysterious. Like he likes to have girls come over to the haunted museum in the middle of the night to get spooked. And he'll flat out tell them, I want to see if the spirits like you. I got to see if they approve of you. Like, really, dude, really? That's what you're going to fucking do? That's what you're going to fucking do? It's fucking nuts. Like, really? Okay, so he's basically using that museum. And then also, apparently there's like a house that he'll stay at occasionally on the property. Like, I also know he might own the warehouse near it where a lot of, because I mean, again, he's a hoarder. He's a fucking hoarder. He hoards. And I mean, honestly, the difference between hoarding and collecting is just wealth. If you're wealthy and you collect a lot of stuff, you're actually a hoarder. Like that's what it is. And he is one of them. So I think he has the warehouse. So he would use that possibly as his personal fuck pad. And, he's got to be mysterious and dark and moody, and that's his like stick. But I'm like, you're really gonna have the spirits choose like what is happening? Like really, dude? Like get a fucking life. Like it's so gross. It's so gross. So and Holly has been calling it out too. Like she was on a podcast I watched this weekend, and she was like, oh yeah, he likes to be mysterious. Like, or he thinks it's cool. And I'm like, girl, wring him out to dry. Wring him out. And then also, this is something else that like is really fucking crazy to me. A lot of girls were afraid to speak out because they were afraid that he would put some type of dark curse on them. I'm like, so, and I totally can see him saying shit like that. I mean, that's not how witchcraft or curses work. But also like, just remember this, like, cause I've been dealing with a lot of this in my personal life is, when you do like, I am a witch. I do practice witchcraft and magic. It's my higher power. It keeps me safe in the paranormal. But like, again, always remember the golden rule. Do unto others as you want to do to you. What you send out comes back to you times 3. And if you're going to send out dark energy and dark magic, it's going to come back to you times 3. I have witnessed this many times. I'm a big believer in karma. And so when you were doing dark curses and dark magic and like that, just remember it's going to come back to you. And it's one of those things where I'm like, I'm sitting there watching that and I'm like, well, Zach, it might be happening. It might, if you did that, which I could totally see him doing, it's going to come back to you. And so that's why a lot of girls, and Holly, this is the best part. Holly was like, I don't fucking care. You can't do that shit to me. There's nothing that doesn't fucking scare me. So that's something that I'm just like, girl, Zach, you're a douchebag. Ugh. And also, I mean, there's always been allegations. I've seen this before many times. He's on Bumble. He's on Tinder. Not like Raya for like the rich, wealthy celebrities, like the normal ones. Like, Bumble, Tinder. Also, Vegas is a small town. And it's linked to his verified Instagram and Twitter and Facebook account. Like, it's linked to his verified socials. And he puts on there, lead investigative award-winning show. He's always got to be lead investigator because he's so fucking Jax Taylor with this shit. And Zach and Jax. There's a lot there. I got a thought coming. Hold on a sec. But he's always been on there, and I've also have seen this myself too. I love the Are We Dating the Same People? The Facebook groups. There's one in Harford County that's amazing. There's one in Baltimore that's amazing. I'm also part of one in Las Vegas, and he's been on the Las Vegas one multiple times. And it's always been rumored, like he's always been on the dating apps. So it's stuff like that where I'm like, he's always been there. He always has done it. And he also, the other thing he's alleged, he's talking shit on Holly. Like, calling Holly, like talking shit to these girls, to Holly, and then they're telling him, and it's like they're telling her, and it's like, what the fuck, dude? Like, so there's just like levels, and there's other stuff that I'm not going to get into. I mean, there's underage allegations, which are disgusting, not touching that, like that's not cool if that's true. I don't know if it's true, but there's been that allegations. There've been allegations that he secretly videotaped people. Like, I don't know about all that. I mean, it's just weird. I do know that there are cameras everywhere in the Haunted Museum. Like, that is a fact. But, like, all that stuff, like, I'm not touching that. That's too dark. That's too gross. That's not cool. And also, like, again, I can't prove it. It's not verified. I'm not going to go there. But, it's just a lot. It's just a lot. And also, like, the Ghost Adventures fam, like, the fans of it are very much like trying, like, he could send the fans after Holly, and they have been kind of harassing her, but he cheated the entire fucking relationship. It's insane to me. It's just so fucking insane to me. And, so they're broken up, and he finally just up and blocked her because Holly was not fucking around and was calling him out and being, as she should have been, just calling him out, and just because she was pissed, she was hurt and pissed. And it's like, I don't think there will be any accountability for it. I think it's bullshit. I just think this whole thing is so fucking insane. I mean, he's such a douchebag and such a gross specimen of straight male. And it's just like, this is who's on fucking TV. Like, this is who we're watching. It really puts me off to the whole show. So wrapping up, my final thoughts, again, I've said this before, Zach's going to have to lean into this on his show. I mean, honestly, like, you get the way reality television works, you have scandals, you put it on the show because people are going to be watching the show to find out the real information. And it all depends if I can see Zach leaning into the Aaron thing, no problem. But I also could see him not. But he's going to have to lean into whatever this shit is, because Holly is calling it out. Everyone knows about it, and really it's been surprising. Nobody has really been talking about it in the pop culture, and a lot of pop culture podcasts, a lot of the stuff. No one in mainstream pop culture besides me right now is really talking about it. And it's really fucking crazy. Like, it's just like, this is a big scandal. This is a big fucking deal. And it's so dark and gross, and he's such a misogynistic pig and just a gross weirdo that it's like, ugh. And also it deals with fucking Holly Madison. Like, come on, guys. Like, it's time to get over the fact that she dated Hugh Hefner, was a Playboy model. Like, she is a big figure in pop culture, and this needs to be talked about, because justice for Holly, truly. So we will see. We will see, guys. I will be back in a few weeks with new episodes and all this stuff. And, you can follow me on all social medias. I do miss you guys, and I will be back soon. So with that, I'm beating up to UFO. Bye, guys.